There has been a few times where I actually experienced something like this. Only a couple of times. And of course, I do believe in ghosts. They are real. But there's also something else to it. Hello, everyone. Once again, this is Dare to Speak. Growing up, I had experiences of being visited by people who passed away. And it was nothing unusual in a sense. Because I remember, excuse me, I remember feeling this kind of thing before growing up. As a kid, despite all the scary stuff that happened, all the other scary, terrifying experiences, I also had these kind of experiences too. There was two people that I know that died violently. And I remember, especially one in particular, where I was sleeping on my stomach. I was about maybe 19 years old. And I felt a presence right by my bed. And then I felt like an embrace, like a warm embrace. My body felt completely warm. And even though I was startled by it, it it felt like it was desperate for something. I don't know. So at that time, of course, I prayed because I used to believe in God. And I had the feeling that it was the person that died. So I said a prayer for this person, and then after a while, it was gone. Now, I don't really know if that's really the case. All I could say is just that's what I experienced. There has been also maybe 5 or 6 times, I don't know, possibly more than that, where I felt a lot of negative, evil type of presence. I remember one time I was wide awake. I was listening to music. I had the headphones on. And of course, at that age, I was about 19, like 20, 21 years old. And I had real long hair because I was into heavy metal music, really into heavy metal music. And I was listening to one of the Metallica, Master of Puppets songs, and I had it on my Walkman, and with the headphones on, and here I am getting into it, sitting on my bed, and then I felt something behind me, and I got creeped out by it. But because of the fact that I was listening to the music and getting into it, it was easy for me to ignore it. But then things started there was a blanket that was right in front of me that I had on this chair, and I saw it move, and they just like someone, as if someone just pulled it down, and I witnessed it. I saw it, and I felt the presence just pass by. So I continued to ignore it, and of course it was in the daytime, so I guess that made it better. I don't know what would have happened if it happened at night. I honestly don't know. But there was also a couple of times where I felt, and this is like really disturbing. There was a couple of times where I was taking a shower, and I felt that same eeriness coming from like maybe 6 or 7 feet away from the shower, and I felt it, and it was at night, and I got creeped out by it, and it happened more than once. And I remember talking to a cousin of mine, and he said that he could relate to the same thing, and he described how it felt, and I was like, yeah, it was pretty much like that. And it says, yeah, it felt like it was watching me, staring at me, and I'm like, yeah, that's how it was. And he says, and it was also very perverted. Not only was it sinister, but it was also very perverted. And that's when I was being very reluctant to tell him, yeah, that's how I felt too. But I said, yeah, obviously. At that time, I didn't know exactly what it was. It wasn't a ghost of someone that passed away. That was, even though, like my mom said, it was her father, which was my grandfather, that came and haunted her. I don't know if that's true, but I later found out that these entities that were there were actually the Bogarts, or goblins, or whatever you want to call them. Those type of beings. That's later on. Years later, I found out that it was them, and that's because that wasn't that much. It wasn't really that much far away from, as far as the time span, from the time where I saw that gnome with that green glow standing next to my bed. There wasn't that big of a gap between those two incidents. There was also, when I was in my late 30s, I was sleeping in my bed, and again, the same typical scenario. You feel that something's in the room. You feel paranoid, apprehensive, like something's about to happen. And I remember seeing something standing about maybe 5 or 6 feet away from the bed, just staring at me. Now, these kind of experiences are pretty much long gone. I haven't felt those type of things in years. And I already explained the reason why, for those of you who saw my video on this particular subject. Now, it was very strange looking. The way I could describe it is really, really difficult. But that, and also the ghostly, going back to the part where I saw that little girl standing next to my bed as well. Who that girl was, was probably, at that time, I thought it was the spirit of someone that I knew that was related to me that possibly died as a little girl. But there was something sinister about that as well. So I don't know too much about what exactly that was. It could have been some sort of deception of these creatures or whatever. It could have been that, because they could take form of anything they want. Now, it was really strange because it actually resembled someone that I knew. It actually resembled my mom when she was a little girl. She closely resembled her, like about a good, almost identical, like maybe 95% or something like that. It was very close. And then I remember years later when my mom told me that she had a suspicion that when she was born, that she also had a twin sister. And very little was known about her, about what she suspected. And she suspected that she died as a little girl. And this one was the one that freaked out my mom big time. And I thought it was really strange when I saw it and how closely it resembled her. Having encounters with these types of things are not really all that. I mean, they're not pleasant experiences. They're not, and but at the same time, it's kind of like, it's almost like it was necessary. I don't know. I know it's a fucked up thing to say, but hopefully I don't necessarily have to deal with that kind of shit again. I really don't, and I haven't for more than, let me see, 16, 20, for almost like 4.5 years now. For 4.5 years, I haven't had a single incident. So far, so good. So these are the experiences that I had, and feel free to ask me any questions about it, or if you want to share a personal story of something that you could actually relate to, and tell me what you honestly think about it, what you think it might be, especially the scary part. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Questions or comments, you know what to do. And this is Dare to Speak. And to all of you, take care.